Hello and welcome to another episode of Boring History, the channel where we get to spend some time together learning about things that the majority of people just don't care about. I like to think of it as productive procrastination. Now, you might be wondering, why are we in black and white today? Aside from the fact that it's rather flattering, there is a reason. But I'm not going to tell you because that's going to be your homework. Watch the rest of this video and then comment down below what the answer is. Now, recently I've been reading about this group of people called the Dinka who live primarily in South Sudan, and they've got some pretty interesting myths. They have this one god called Deng who's responsible for rain, thunder and lightning. He's seen as the bringer of life as he has the power to manifest himself into the fertilizing waters that fall from the sky. However, he's also associated with death, and if you're struck by lightning, it's said that Deng has hit you over the head with his club. Now, the general belief is that the Dinka are the children of Deng, and I think there's probably some interesting parallels you could draw between the Greek myth of Prometheus and Deng, but maybe that's something for another video. Deng's shrines are usually trees that have been charred by lightning, and his sacrifices are usually black and white animals. This is symbolic of a dark sky filled with white lightning, or a white sky filled with dark clouds. Now, before I tell you a quick story about Deng and some cows, I quickly need to introduce you to a folk hero that Deng is often associated with, Awel Longa. Not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, so I apologise. Awel was the founder of a hereditary priesthood known as the Spearmasters, and he was the son of a human mother and a water spirit. One day when Deng and Awel were travelling together, they came across the spiritual leader of the local area, who was the spiritual leader because, well, he was known to have great spiritual power. This man's name was Mutjok. Again, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, so I'm very sorry. Mutjok had a beautiful herd of red cattle, and that evening when he was driving them into the cattle shed, Deng watched them intently. Now, it doesn't actually say why, but I'm assuming it's because they were pretty, or maybe because they were the wrong colour, because the next morning when Mutjok woke up, all his cows had changed colour. But he didn't think too much of it, and he just continued along. Instead, he invited Deng's sons. I forgot to mention, Deng had some children, and two of them were travelling with them. So, the next morning, Mutjok invited Deng's sons to suckle from the cow's teats along with his own sons for some breakfast. As the children drank from the cow, milk only flowed to the side that Deng's children were drinking from, and poor Mutjok's children weren't getting anything. And suddenly, Mutjok put two and two together. Colour-changing cows, milk only flowing from one side of the cow. He was like, oh my god, you're Deng the god. Recognising Deng as his superior, he quickly resigned from his position as spiritual leader of the area. The end. Actually, poor Awel wasn't really mentioned in this story, but the hereditary priesthood of the Spearmasters does sound pretty interesting, so guess it was kind of worth bringing him up. Maybe it'll be a future video. Who knows? Anyway, thanks so much for joining me for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that you'll subscribe and join me for even more random, boring history in the future. Thanks.